Hello everyone, my name is Makeda Voletta, also known as Queen Lioness and the Renaissance Amazon, the Body Scientist. Those are all names I go by. I'm here making this video to talk to you about the cosmic egg, the jade egg, the ancient practice and use of stone eggs in China, the symbolism of the egg, and why it's so important and why every woman should be working with it. So this egg is made from jade and it comes from China. It's an ancient practice that from thousands of years ago, tens of thousands of years ago, women, usually royal women, women of a certain status, would work with jade eggs internally in the vaginal canal. And the purpose of working with this egg, there are many. One is to help strengthen the vaginal muscles. It's one thing to do Kegel exercises and to just squeeze, which is good. It's better than nothing. It's almost equivalent to me, doing my biceps, doing bicep curls. Doing bicep curls with no weight, it's better than me just laying in bed for a year and not moving my arms at all. If I just laid in bed for a year and never moved my arms, my muscles would atrophy. They would get weak and they would disappear. If you don't use it, you lose it. So doing this with body weight is better than doing nothing. But if I put weight in my hands and now I'm lifting a load, so now it's recruiting more of my muscle fibers. More of my muscle fibers have to activate in order to lift this load. That helps the muscle become stronger. So the fact that the egg has weight to it, the muscles have to work just to hold on to the egg. Then there's the added layer of consciously contracting. So most women don't realize that one of the beauties of our sacred black hole is the fact that the vaginal muscle, that canal, is very powerful, and it can do all kinds of contractions. It can contract and push to the left. It could contract and push to the right. It could contract and push forward. It can contract and push back. The vaginal muscles can also contract and suck up, and it can push down. And the vaginal muscles can come together in a clapping motion, like two eggs can come together. So our vaginal muscles are very powerful and can do all kinds of contractions. When we work internally with this egg, it forces us to focus, to really focus on our center, our deep center and our core, those deep muscles, and all the different contractions that we can do. And the more that you think about contracting a muscle as you contract it, the more your central nervous system grows nerves to those muscles. And the more nerves that innervate a muscle, the more control you have over that muscle, and the more feeling that you have in that muscle. Also, contracting your muscles and thinking about it and visualizing it at the same time also increases the blood flow to that area, which helps in arousal. So working with the egg helps to make a woman more sensitive to the subtle energies, whereas a vibrator can make us less sensitive because vibrators are so intense that it desensitizes us. So that when with a person, you're not able to feel this is subtle contractions. So the egg makes us more sensitive, more tuned into our sensitive spots. We have more than just a G spot. We have all kinds of sensitive spots in our vaginal canal. So that makes the orgasms more intense. So for women who have problems having orgasm, working with the egg internally can help with that. For women who have no problem having orgasms, it just makes it more intense, makes it multi-orgasmic and whole body orgasms, and there's all kinds of orgasms that we can have. And sexual energy and spiritual energy are the same thing, so there is a lot of magic and beautiful things and good health and radiance that we can get from having intense orgasms. It's good for us, very good for our hormones, and that's a discussion for another day. It'll be in my book because I can talk about that for about an hour. So moving on, the other purpose of this egg, it helps to release trauma. Women, we hold on to trauma in our vaginal canals. So, and we have reflexology points in the vaginal canal. So when we work with the egg, it massages our reflexology points, which helps to balance our emotions and gently release trauma that we're holding on there that we may or may not even be aware of. And also the egg itself, which is being an egg. Eggs are ancient symbols for transformation and rebirth, all over the world. And so, and Jade connects to our heart, so it helps to connect our sexual center to our heart chakra. And Jade also strengthens our kidneys, and our kidneys is where we store our sexual energy. So, and Jade is also good for helping with dreams and dream work. So we have that issue of working with the trauma. Then we also have preparing us women for childbirth. For those of us who choose to have children, it helps us to connect, to be able to control and consciously control and relax those muscles, which will help in childbirth and also help make your muscles strong prior to that. And it helps after the fact in recovery and strengthening our urogenital and pelvic diaphragms and strengthening all these internal muscles, our uterus, our cervix, to help recover and strengthen after childbirth. Even if we don't choose to have children, pelvic prolapse is something that is becoming more and more common, where as we age, our internal organs sag and fall down into our urogenital and pelvic diaphragms. Working with the egg helps to strengthen all of that. So, one more thing about the egg, because there's, again, a lot to say, and I'm working on my book and my DVDs, and it's a lot, but I just want to put out something. The other thing that the egg really helps with is women that have horrible menstrual cramps. It definitely helps to alleviate the really bad cramps and really heavy menstrual cycles, which is what drains us of our chi. Women, we're drained of our chi through menstruation and childbirth. So it doesn't mean we should never have children or that we should never menstruate. But if we're having long, intense, heavy, agonizing menstrual cycles, that's not good and it's very draining for our chi. Our cycles should be short and light. And with having children, if a woman were to have a child every year consecutively for 5 years, that would be really draining on her body and her chi, her life force. So that's why traditionally in indigenous societies, they usually would space babies out by 3 years so that she could regenerate. So that's what drains us of our chi. It also helps women with fibroids or cystic ovaries, because a lot of times that has to do with, circulation not moving there, or things are holding on to in your womb. There's a lot of different things and reasons. So it can help with that. It can help for women who have taken out ovaries and cervix and uterus. And it can also help postmenopausal women, because it helps to prevent you from drying out. And working with the egg stimulates the Bartholin glands, which are the glands that secrete mucus when we are aroused. So it helps to keep us lubricated. And our vaginal fluids have natural antibacterial, antiviral properties in it. And also health benefits, especially when we have orgasms. There's a lot of beneficial essence that is in our vaginal fluids that can benefit both us and our partner from absorbing through their skin. So, female sexual energy is like water, and we don't want the rivers to dry up. So the jade egg, this is part 1 of talking about the jade egg. There's a lot more to come. You can find me on Facebook. My name is Makeda Voletta, Makeda, and Voletta, Voletta. So until my next video, do your research on the jade egg. Alright? Have a great night.